Mike, and a number of people have asked me if I'm going to talk about Prince in my weekly video. And my first thought was, I really don't need to. John Young was very generous to have me on, actually the night that Prince passed away. We did about an hour kind of interview, and I had a chance to tell a lot of my Prince stories and talk about seeing him live and everything else, and that was amazingly cathartic for me, and I thank you very much, John. I'll put the link to that video in the description here on YouTube. So my first thought was that I really don't kind of need to, but then I started thinking about it. The one thing I wasn't able to do on the John Young interview was maybe kind of tie some stuff that I know about Prince into maybe lessons or things that we can learn to make our businesses better. And that's really what these weekly videos are all about. This isn't about me, just blabbing on. Hopefully I'm able to, in these weekly videos, give you something that you can take away to make your performance or your marketing or your business kind of better. So I thought to myself, can I do that? Can I come up with something that Prince did or said or taught me that I could share with you? And typically I wasn't able to come up with one thing. I came up with numerous things. So for the next couple weeks, I don't know how long it'll last. It'll last as long as I have good stuff that I can share. I want to basically do my weekly video and say, what can we learn from Prince, or what did Prince teach us? And the first one, many of you probably know this, that early on in the 80s when Prince was signed to his record deal, he was prolific and he was writing more music than he could actually record and produce himself. And so he started a couple of protege bands and worked with a couple of artists, really as an outlet to get his other music out. And the Time, as again, many of you probably know this, the Time was one of those bands, and probably the most successful of them. Sheila E., obviously another one. But any of the songs that you know by the Time, the early ones especially, Ice Cream Castles and Jungle Love and The Bird, those were all either written or sometimes he gave Morris Day or the Time co-writing, but most people recognize the fact that Prince, using a pseudonym, Jamie Starr, wrote all of those songs. And not only wrote them, but because he was so prolific on every instrument, he would create a demo for them, including his vocals, and give that demo to the Time. And sometimes the Time would replay all the instrumentation and have Morris Day sing it. Sometimes they would just take out his vocal guide and sing over what Prince had given them. So there came a time before one of the tours where one of the band members said, "Hey Prince, we're expected to now go out and play this stuff live. We didn't even play on the record, and you expect us now to go out and play this live." And he said, "You gotta make it better than the record. Do it better live." And I just think for performance sake, for us as DJs, that's such a great lesson, because if you don't do something as a DJ that makes it better live than it is on the record, then let's face it, your client really could hire an iPod. They could rent a sound system and fill up an iPod with their requests and plug it in and just hit random and go. If you're not doing something, or hopefully lots of things at your events that make it better live, that make it better than just the song that was recorded, then you're no better than an iPod. What are those things you can do? Well, obviously programming to start, putting an iPod on random, or even setting up a playlist beforehand is not as good as programming in the moment. Part of programming is looking at the crowd and reacting to the crowd and seeing, oh, they like this song, so let's go in this direction, or they didn't love this, so let's pull out of this and go in this direction. That's part of the art of programming. Mixing, obviously, is a huge thing. An iPod, when a song ends, boom, you hear a couple seconds dead air, or maybe even you have it set up to segue, but there's no mixing. You as a DJ should be able to mix songs together, and maybe even if you're a mixologist, you can scratch or do something like that, but mixing two songs together makes it better on the dance floor. It keeps the flow going, and it keeps just the energy going a lot better. So that's something you can do then to make it better live and be better than just the record. And then obviously the different things you can do as an MC, voicing over parts of songs, prompting, getting the crowd to sing along, or hand clap on a break, or doing something that takes a song on a record that's here and bringing it up to here. That's making it better live and adding to something that was on the record. So that's the first lesson I want to take away from Prince. If you ever had a chance to see him perform live, you know he took whatever song, and believe me, he put great versions of songs on records, but he always made it better live than it was on the record. And I challenge you, and I challenge you to learn from Prince to take what's already pre-recorded and make it better live.
Come on.